So this is the PXN V3 Pro racing wheel. Now it is actually compatible with PC, PS3, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series S, and the Nintendo Switch. And the benefit of this one is it supports PC360X input. It has vibration feedback. It has an 180-degree steering angle. It comes with a sequential gear shifter and an analog gas and brake pedal. But that's just what's on the box. Let me show you guys with a quick unboxing of what you get when you get the PXN V3 Pro. So right out of the box, you have the PXN V3 Pro manual that shows you how you can connect it to a PS3, a Switch, an Xbox, an Xbox One, or your PS4. And it also comes with these stickers right here, which I think are a huge benefit for the PXN V3 Pro. And that's because these stickers allow you to stick them onto the D-pad that is on the steering wheel and adjust it to how you, or let me say to the gaming system that you already have, whether it's a PS3, PS4, Nintendo Switch, or Xbox controller. It allows you to let me say, customize it and have a more familiar D-pad layout. So that is the PXN V3 Pro construction manual. Now this is the PXN V3 Pro. Now the PXN V3 Pro is meant to be the budget option, or let me say the budget friendly fast steering wheel or fast sim racing steering wheel that you get if you're getting into sim racing, or if you want to start gaming on your PC or on your PS4 or on Xbox using a steering wheel as an added advantage. Now if you're going to be connecting this to your PS4, to your Switch, or to any other gaming controller, it does have a USB-A port that allows you to connect your controller to it so that it's compatible. But if you're going to use it the way we are going to use it today, which is via PC, it comes with a USB cable already integrated, and that makes it a simple plug and play. The actual, well, let me call it a sequential shifter, is right here on the steering wheel itself. So it just is a sequential shifter, so it just has up and down. So for the sequential shifter, guys, that's a huge benefit for you. It does have paddle shifts on the left and the right side that do feel quite good. I won't lie, the flame graphic is not for me. It feels a bit childish, but then again, it's gaming. It's meant to be fun. But I do, or let me say, I must admit that I do also like the fact that you do have these numbers right here. Now these are actually meant to tell you if you're playing multiplayer controller games. This actually indicates which player you are, if you're player 1, 2, 3, or 4. So another huge advantage. And finally, we come to the front of the steering wheel itself. Now this has 180 degrees of steering angle, so not as much as the Pro steering wheels, but more than enough for a first budget steering wheel sim racing system. You have the actual R3 and RS buttons and the actual triggers right here on the back. You have the paddle shifters. You have the L2, L1, R1, R2 here on the front of the steering wheel, right here. Sorry, right here and right here. And you have the actual D-pads and the directional pads on the steering wheel itself. So as you can see, it's kitted out and it's meant to be used with anything and everything. So if you're a PS guy, if you're an Xbox guy, if you're a Nintendo Switch guy, this is meant to work with anything and everything you have in any way that you want, with any compatibility and with all the customizability that you need. Before I forget, the way you mount this is, if you're going to be mounting this, let's say on a table or on a desktop at home, it actually comes with this suction cups right here on the bottom. So you just set it up on the table, make sure it's firm, and yeah, that's not going anywhere. Firm and stiff.
Oh no!
Do not do that in the comment. I know what you're gonna do, don't do it. Next up, you have the actual accelerating and the braking pedal. Now because this isn't the higher end V99 Pro, you only have the accelerator and the brake, and it comes with a sequential shifter. So that is something to consider if you're looking to get into sim racing and you want to get something on a budget. But for what it's worth, these actually do feel quite nice. So yeah, there you have it. Nice grippy rubber pads on the bottom, and all you have to do is set it up on the bottom of where you have your setup. So a couple of other things that I forgot to mention is that it also comes with an adjuster for mounting the steering wheel. It has a USB cable, and this is for the PS4 or for the Xbox One for connecting your controller. Of course, it comes with a USB Type C cable for putting on maybe a third-party controller that has a Type C port. And it also has this, which is more or less the clamp system, whereby if you're not going to use the PXN V3 Pro on a table surface like this, and you want to rather have it clamped onto the edge of your table, this is what you use. So you have the clamp system, and you also have the suction cup system, depending on the way you want it set up. But idealistically, the way we're going to set it up today is with the suction cup system, because I think it's really firm and it's really strong. And if you're going to be using it with a clamp system, again, that is entirely up to you as a gaming individual. If you prefer the clamp system whereby you clamp it onto the edge, again, gamer's choice. So you decide which one you prefer to use. I'm gonna go with the suction cup system for today, but we'll get into that a bit later. For now, let me set up the steering wheel plus the actual pedals and an incredible gaming PC that I'm going to show you a bit later. For now, let me set this up. Okay, so long story short, I finally have the PXN V3 Pro racing wheel set up, and the way I've set it up, using one of, let me call it, our content creating setups. And what we're going to be doing is, because the PXN V3 Pro has suction cups on it, if you're someone who wants to set it up on your table at home, like if you have a working table for anything or an editing table, you can set it up with these suction cups right here, or you could set it up with a clamp system that allows you to set it up on a different table if it doesn't have like a sticky enough surface that allows you to set it up on such a table. The steering wheel is set up and the pedals are set up right below me. Now keep in mind, for the PXN V3 Pro, you have the steering wheel and the accelerator and the brake pedal only. I'm going to be testing it out with one of my favorite games of all time, which is Dirt 3. I'm screen recording so that you guys can see just how cool it looks. And as you can see, I have a GoPro mounted on my head to give you guys a first-person view. So let me start up the game and show you guys how the PXN V3 Pro fares on. Oh, and quick tidbit for you guys, for the guys out there who didn't know, Dirt 3 is one of the coolest games you could ever play because it actually has Kenya as a location for rallying. So if you also want to experience Kenyan rallying, something to think about. Is it set up? It was simple plug and play. I didn't have to install any extra drivers, any extra software. The minute I plugged in the V3 Pro via the USB and the pedals to the V3 Pro via its Ethernet cable, it worked directly and without issue. Okay guys, so the way I've set this up is I'm using our Cameras Africa editing / gaming laptop. It is a HP Omen 16, an incredibly powerful gaming laptop, and I'm using it of course in conjunction with the V3 Pro. Now I am using it with the automatic transmission because I really do not feel like using the sequential. But if you are someone that wants that extra authenticity, if you're someone that wants that extra, realism when it comes to a game, you do have the option of either using the sequential shifter or using the paddle shifters on the controller itself. The actual pedals are right here on my feet for the accelerator and for the brake. But without much further ado, let's get to it. So right off the bat, I can say for a budget racing wheel, this feels really, really good in hand. The racing wheel itself does not have force feedback like its bigger brother, the V99 Pro, but it does make up for that with a little bit of vibration feedback when you hit bumps and the like. But it is very, very responsive. For a budget scene racing wheel, it is incredibly responsive. As I'm sure you guys can see from the first-person view, all the turns I'm making, the steering sensitivity on this thing is absolutely in tune with the game. It feels natural. It actually feels like I'm in the game itself. Actually, ooh, that was a really bad crash. But yeah, that just goes to show you, like, when it comes to like properly playing sim racing games, having a dedicated racing wheel, having this extra sense of realism genuinely does make the whole experience that much more enjoyable. And considering how much this cost, I genuinely think for anyone who wants to get into sim racing, whether you're a person who likes F1, Assetto Corsa, Forza Horizon, Gran Turismo, or like me, Dutch Rally, then this is a perfect platform to start on. The steering feels very, very responsive. I will say that for a budget racing wheel, it is incredibly responsive. And another really cool thing about it is you can actually change the sensitivity of the steering wheel itself in game. So if you want it to be a little bit more responsive, a little bit more attentive to how you are steering, you have that option in game and as an actual setting in the controller itself. It allows you to set a dead zone, it allows you to set sensitivity, and again, the more realism, the more experience it is. And as it stands, I have absolutely no complaints whatsoever. It feels really light to the hand actually. But there's something I am noticing about this racing wheel is that I think by the way it's designed, it's meant to center itself back with the springs, and it does that really, really well. So, with my race finally finished, who is the PXN V3 Pro meant for? In my opinion, the PXN V3 Pro, number one, for any car guy out there, for any person who plays racing games, and you just want to get a nice simple setup that works with your PS4, with your PC, with your Xbox One, Xbox Series S, and even with the Nintendo Switch, this is an absolute must-have. I consider this an essential accessory, almost like a gamepad. But that is according to me because I love racing games, and if this is the first thing I'm investing in to get into sim racing as an international actual sport, which by the way is considered an actual international sport. You can look it up. Max Verstappen, the incredible Formula 1 racer, is one of the best sim racers in the world and actually does that off season. But that's another story for another day. But for someone looking to get into sim racing, to start it off either as a career, as a content creator, or someone who just loves racing games and you want that extra touch of realism, the V3 Pro delivers, and it delivers a lot more than it looks like. It has really good customizability. The fact that it has more or less a really good recentering function, it feels good in hand. It is a bit small for people with bigger hands, but then again, it is meant to be on a budget. And the fact that you have customizability and you can run it with most of the gaming consoles out there, and it's plug and play when you're using it on PC means that, I mean, I'm really struggling to find any down points for this. Now, for the professionals out there, yes, you are lacking a dedicated gear shifter and you only have the accelerator and the brake pedal, so keep that in mind. If you're looking to get a more professional version for a racing wheel, you can opt for the V99 Pro, which my colleague in Cage Division will be showing you guys in a later video. But for now, I'm gonna send you off with this. Looking to get into sim racing, looking to up your racing game experience at home, at the office, in your gaming lounge. If you're even looking to get this for your gaming lounge as a part of your business, then this is made for you. So with that, this was the PXN V3 Pro. This was Cage Division, brought to you by Cameras Africa.